The road curves between mountains first. Then the landscape changes completely. Dark volcanic valleys give way to glowing blue lakes. Rainforests rise beside empty coastlines. Snow-covered peaks stand above fjords carved by ancient ice. And somehow, this is still one country. New Zealand feels unreal at times. One moment you're standing inside caves lit by thousands of glowworms. The next you're driving through landscapes shaped by volcanoes, earthquakes and glaciers older than human history itself. Then it changes again. Māori culture woven deeply into the land. Adventure towns surrounded by mountains. Silent fjords where waterfalls fall directly into dark water beneath towering cliffs. This isn't just scenery. It's movement through entirely different worlds connected together by 2 islands in the South Pacific. And over the next 7 days, New Zealand never stops transforming.
We'll guide you day by day. What to do, what to eat, travel tips, where to stay, and the best Get Your Guide experiences. All the links you need are in the description below.
Arrival into Auckland feels energetic immediately. The city spreads across volcanic hills, surrounded by water on nearly every side. Harbour ferries move constantly across the bay, while glass towers rise above marinas filled with sailboats. This is New Zealand's largest city, but it still feels connected to the ocean everywhere you go. Start your morning along the Viaduct Harbour and waterfront. The atmosphere feels relaxed compared to most major cities. People move slowly between cafes and harbourside restaurants, while the skyline reflects across the water. By late morning, walk toward the city centre and explore areas surrounding Queen Street and the nearby laneways filled with independent cafes, food spots, and small galleries. Auckland feels modern, but never overwhelming. The ocean always softens it. By midday, head toward one of the volcanic viewpoints surrounding the city. From above, Auckland reveals its geography properly, built across ancient volcanic terrain, with harbours stretching in multiple directions. Then spend the afternoon exploring the city's food culture. Pacific influences, Māori heritage, Asian cuisine, and fresh seafood all blend naturally together here. As evening approaches, return toward the waterfront. The skyline glows softly while ferries continue moving across the harbour beneath fading light. The journey begins with the city, but the landscapes waiting beyond it already feel enormous.
Auckland is built across more than 50 volcanic cones formed over thousands of years. Fresh seafood meals and waterfront dining range from 30 to 80 New Zealand dollar. Traffic around Auckland can become heavy. Allow extra travel time when crossing the city. Auckland stays range from 200 to 500 New Zealand dollar per night. We've added Auckland Sunset Harbour cruises and Auckland City, beaches and rainforest tour experiences in the description below.
Leaving Auckland early, the landscape gradually changes from city suburbs into rolling green countryside. The roads narrow, hills begin folding into valleys covered with farmland and forest. Then the journey moves underground. Arriving in Waitomo, the atmosphere becomes quieter immediately. The famous glowworm caves sit hidden beneath the landscape, carved slowly by water over millions of years. Inside, the temperature drops. Sound disappears almost completely. Small boats drift silently through underground rivers, while thousands of glowworms light the cave ceiling above like stars. It feels less like a cave, and more like entering another world entirely. By midday, continue south toward Rotorua. Long before reaching the town, the landscape announces itself. Steam rises from the ground beside the road. Sulfur hangs in the air. The earth itself feels active beneath you. Rotorua sits directly within one of New Zealand's most geothermal regions. Start your afternoon exploring bubbling mud pools, steaming vents, and brightly colored geothermal pools, shaped by volcanic heat deep underground. The landscape feels alive here. Then, as evening approaches, experience one of the most important parts of New Zealand itself: Maori culture. Traditional performances, storytelling, and hangi cooking experiences reveal cultural traditions deeply connected to the land and natural environment surrounding Rotorua. This part of New Zealand feels ancient in a completely different way.
The glowworms inside Waitomo caves are unique to New Zealand and produce light to attract prey. Traditional Maori hangi meals range from 40 to 100 New Zealand dollar. Rotorua's geothermal areas often smell strongly of sulfur, completely normal for the region. Rotorua stays range from 180 to 450 New Zealand dollar per night. We've added Waitomo glowworm cave tours, geothermal experiences, and Maori cultural evenings in the description.
Today becomes about scale. Leaving Rotorua, the road moves deeper into the volcanic center of the North Island. The landscapes begin widening dramatically. Dark forests give way to open plains, while distant mountains slowly appear across the horizon. Arriving at Lake Taupo, the size feels almost oceanic. This enormous lake was formed by one of the most powerful volcanic eruptions in Earth's history. And standing beside it, the scale becomes easier to understand. Start your morning walking along the lakeshore. Cold air moves across the water while mountains rise faintly in the distance beyond the lake. By late morning, head toward Huka Falls. The river narrows suddenly before exploding through a tight volcanic channel with incredible force. The color of the water feels unreal, bright blue against dark volcanic rock. The sound alone fills the entire landscape. By midday, continue driving toward the Tongariro region. The scenery changes again. Volcanic peaks dominate the horizon, while open plains stretch beneath enormous skies. This landscape feels harsher, more exposed, almost cinematic in scale. It's no surprise parts of this region were used to portray Mordor in the Lord of the Rings films. By afternoon, stop at scenic viewpoints and walking routes throughout the region. Volcanic terrain, lava-shaped landscapes, and alpine scenery create another completely different side of New Zealand. As evening approaches, the mountains darken beneath cold evening light, while the sky opens wide above the volcanic plateau.
Lake Taupo sits inside a supervolcano caldera created by one of the largest eruptions in human geological history. Lakeside dining and local trout meals range from 30 to 90 New Zealand dollar. Weather around the volcanic plateau changes extremely quickly. Layers are essential. Taupo stays range from 180 to 450 New Zealand dollar per night. We've added Huka Falls River Cruise, Waiotapu and Blue Springs experiences, geothermal tours, and Tongariro scenic adventures in the description below.
The South Island feels different immediately. Bigger, sharper, more dramatic. Arriving in Queenstown, mountains rise directly from the edge of Lake Wakatipu, while adventure activity surrounds the town from every direction. This is often called the adventure capital of the world. And it feels built for movement. Start your morning walking along the lakefront. Cold alpine air moves across the water, while snow-covered peaks rise beyond the town. Everything here feels connected to the mountains. By late morning, take the gondola above Queenstown. As the town shrinks below, the full scale of the landscape appears. Lakes, valleys, mountain ranges stretching endlessly outward. By midday, explore the town itself. Cafes, restaurants, adventure companies, and travelers from around the world create an atmosphere completely different from the quieter North Island landscapes. Then spend the afternoon exploring nearby viewpoints or taking scenic drives beyond the town. Every direction feels cinematic. As evening approaches, Queenstown changes again. The mountains darken while restaurants and lakeside bars fill with people returning from hiking, skiing, jet boating or skydiving. Adventure and scenery exist together constantly here.
Queenstown is considered the birthplace of commercial bungee jumping. Lakeside dining and famous local burgers range from 20 to 60 New Zealand dollar. Book adventure activities early. Queenstown experiences fill quickly during peak season. Queenstown stays range from 250 to 700 New Zealand dollar per night. We've added Queenstown Lake Wakatipu scenic cruise and adventure activities in the description below.
Today begins before sunrise. Leaving Queenstown early, the road gradually moves deeper into the South Island wilderness. Mountains rise higher with every kilometre. Forests become denser. Rivers cut through valleys shaped by ancient glaciers. Clouds hang low against the peaks. The drive toward Milford Sound is not simply transport, it's part of the experience itself. Every section feels cinematic. Stop often. Mirror lakes reflecting mountain ranges. Waterfalls appearing beside the road after rain. Open valleys suddenly narrowing into steep cliff walls. By late morning, the landscape becomes even more dramatic, approaching Fiordland National Park. This region feels ancient, untouched, one of the least populated and most remote areas in New Zealand. Then finally, Milford Sound appears. Dark water stretching between enormous cliffs while waterfalls plunge directly from the mountains above into the fjord below. The scale feels almost impossible. Board a boat and move slowly through the fjord itself. The silence becomes part of the experience. Rainforests cling to near-vertical cliffs. Clouds move between the peaks. Waterfalls appear everywhere after rainfall. And because this region receives enormous amounts of rain every year, the landscape feels permanently alive with water. By afternoon, continue deeper into the fjord, while seals rest along rocky edges, and dolphins occasionally appear beside the boats. Everything here feels shaped by ice, water, and time. As evening approaches, begin the long return journey through the mountains. The light softens across the valleys while mist settles back across the landscape again. Milford Sound doesn't feel real at times. It feels like nature exaggerated beyond normal scale.
Despite its name, Milford Sound is technically a fjord carved by glaciers during the last ice age. Fiordland cafe meals and lodge dining range from 30 to 90 New Zealand dollar. Rain is part of the Milford experience. Waterfalls become even more dramatic during wet weather. Fiordland stays range from 250 to 600 New Zealand dollar per night. We've added Milford Sound scenic cruises and Fiordland wilderness experiences in the description below.
After the scale and intensity of Milford Sound, today feels slower, more reflective. Arriving in Wanaka, the atmosphere changes immediately. The town sits beside a calm lake surrounded by mountains, but unlike Queenstown, everything here feels quieter. Less crowded, more relaxed. Start your morning walking along the lakefront. Cold alpine air moves gently across the water, while sunlight slowly reaches the peaks surrounding the lake. The famous lone tree standing in the water near the shoreline has become one of New Zealand's most photographed locations. But seeing it in person feels calmer than expected. By late morning, begin one of the scenic walking routes surrounding Wanaka. The trails gradually rise above the lake, revealing wider views of the Southern Alps stretching across the horizon. Every direction feels open. By midday, stop in one of the town's cafes or lakeside restaurants. The atmosphere here feels built around slowing down after days of movement through dramatic landscapes. Then spend the afternoon exploring more of the surrounding South Island scenery. Short hikes, scenic drives, or hidden lake viewpoints reveal yet another side of New Zealand. This country constantly shifts between extremes and stillness, adventure and quiet, volcanoes and fjords, cities and wilderness. As evening approaches, Wanaka becomes even calmer. The lake reflects the final light while the mountains slowly disappear into shadow.
Wanaka sits close to several major ski fields and hiking regions within the Southern Alps. Lakeside dining and cafe meals range from 25 to 80 New Zealand dollar. South Island weather changes rapidly. Even calm mornings can shift quickly by afternoon. Wanaka stays range from 200 to 500 New Zealand dollar per night. We've added Wanaka and Hawaii trail ride on bike or e-bike experiences in the description below.
The final morning begins quietly. No major destination waiting ahead. Just time to absorb the scale of everything you've crossed over the past 7 days. New Zealand never stayed the same for long. One day was shaped by harbours and city skylines. The next by glowworm caves and geothermal valleys. Then volcanic landscapes, alpine towns, fjords, waterfalls, and mountain lakes. Every region felt separate, almost like traveling between entirely different countries. And yet, every part remained connected through the land itself. Volcanic energy beneath the North Island, glacial landscapes shaping the South Island, Māori culture woven deeply through both. Take one final walk before leaving. Maybe beside a lake, maybe at a mountain viewpoint, maybe simply watching sunrise over the landscape one last time. Notice the details again. Cold air moving across the water, the sound of distant birds in the forest, mountains reflecting softly beneath early light. New Zealand feels enormous not because of its size, but because of how dramatically it changes. By midday, the journey home begins. Airports, roads, movement returning again. But the feeling stays.
New Zealand was one of the last major landmasses settled by humans. A final cafe breakfast or brunch ranges from 20 to 50 New Zealand dollar. Internal flights can save huge amounts of travel time between islands. Final stays range from 200 to 500 New Zealand dollar per night. We've added a special treat for the Hobbit movie fans among you in the description below. Hobbiton movie set private tour.
From volcanic landscapes to glowing underground caves, from Maori cultural heartlands to alpine lakes and fjords carved by ice, New Zealand never feels like one destination. It changes constantly. That's what makes it unforgettable. Every region reveals a different world, shaped by fire, water, mountains, and isolation at the edge of the Pacific Ocean. This isn't simply a road trip. It's a journey through landscapes that feel almost too dramatic to be real. And after 7 days here, the rest of the world feels quieter somehow.
All the Get Your Guide experiences mentioned are linked in the description below. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe to Traveller's Treasure Globe.